Welcome to Telvs, Austria, a town set against the breathtaking backdrop of the Tyrolean Alps. Here stands Liebherr-Werk Telvs, one of the world's most advanced production sites for heavy machinery. In this documentary, we'll take you inside the factory, where raw steel is transformed into precision-engineered giants. From cutting and welding, through assembly, testing, and final shipping, we follow every step of the journey of how a Liebherr crawler dozer comes to life. The journey begins with raw steel, massive sheets and tubes delivered to the factory floor. Here, precision is everything. Advanced laser cutting systems slice through thick metal with incredible accuracy. Sparks fly as CNC-controlled lasers outline components that will later form the frame, undercarriage, and structural supports. Here in the cutting shop, CNC-controlled machines giving shape to the bulldozer's future components. Using powerful oxy-fuel cutting torches, the system precisely follows digital patterns. Skilled operators keep a close eye on every step. They guide the process, clear away excess slag. Once the plates are cut, workers use magnetic lifters and cranes to carefully move the glowing hot pieces off the cutting table. Each component is then sorted, stacked, and loaded onto pallets. Once cut, these parts are processed through drilling, grinding, and milling machines. Inside the raw material cutting shop at Liebherr-Werk Telvs, solid blocks of steel begin their transformation into precision-engineered parts for crawler dozers. Here, massive CNC milling machines cut, drill, and shape the raw metal with micrometer accuracy. Each pass of the cutting tool removes excess material, leaving behind a perfectly formed surface. Each hole, edge, and surface is machined to exact specifications. Operators oversee the machines through digital control panels, carefully programming each step. Even with advanced automation, human expertise is vital. Every setup, adjustment, and inspection ensures the part meets Liebherr's strict quality standards. The result? Rugged, heavy-duty components that will later become the backbone of the bulldozer's frame and running gear. These parts may look simple now, but they carry the strength and precision required for machines that will move mountains. Next, powerful hydraulic presses and bending machines shape the plates into complex geometries. This combination of cutting-edge automation and human oversight ensures that every piece fits together flawlessly once it reaches the welding shop. As we move deeper into the heart of the Telvs factory, we arrive at the welding shop, a place of precision and structural artistry. This is where the raw metal parts, tubes, and plates begin to unite, forming the rugged skeletons of Liebherr crawler dozers. Large sections of steel, forged and machined earlier, arrive here ready for integration. Fabricators position these heavy components on jigs and fixtures. These jigs ensure that each piece is held in exactly the right orientation, so the frame tolerances remain within Liebherr's stringent specifications. A massive chassis section. Inside, a series of heavy steel ribs are welded into place. These reinforcements give the frame its strength, allowing it to withstand the enormous forces a crawler dozer faces every day. Skilled welders step in at joints, corners, and complex intersections, where geometry is too intricate for robots alone. Step by step, the dozer's mainframe takes shape. Each weld, each joint, is a critical link in a chain of durability designed to last for decades in the harshest environments. Once welded, the colossal frame is carefully lifted by overhead cranes. Precision handling ensures that nothing is left to chance. This structure is the backbone of the bulldozer. In the welding shop of Liebherr Werktelfs, raw cast and machined components are transformed into the solid backbone of every crawler dozer, the running frame. Skilled welder position the heavy castings with the help of cranes and magnetic clamps, preparing them for precise joining. Every seam is carefully aligned, because the frame must withstand extreme stresses when the bulldozer is in operation. With sparks flying, the welder fuses the massive steel parts together. Each weld penetrates deep into the material, ensuring maximum strength and durability. This is not just routine work, it's craftsmanship that defines the long-lasting reputation of Liebherr machines. Once complete, the welded running frames are inspected and set aside for further machining and painting. Workers use tack welds to hold these parts together, like building blocks, before the real welding begins. Now the welder steps in. Wearing a protective suit and helmet with an air-purifying respirator, he joins the plates using the MAG welding process. Here in the welding shop, we see how hydraulic cylinder components take shape. Forged steel yokes are carefully welded onto heavy steel tubes, forming the robust connection points for Liebherr's hydraulic systems. In the welding shop at the Liebherr Telfs plant, we see how massive steel parts for the bulldozer plow are prepared. The worker uses a magnetic lifter and chain hoist to place the heavy elements onto the workbench. Their curved shape and pre-cut holes already hint at their future role in the plow assembly. After positioning, the parts are carefully aligned and checked with gauges before welding. Here we see a welder at work, carefully reinforcing the mounting brackets of a massive bulldozer blade. Every seam is laid with precision, because these welds must endure the toughest forces on the job site. Finally, the completed blade rests on its heavy-duty fixture. Its distinctive curved profile and cutting edge are unmistakable. From raw steel to this finished form, every weld, every detail, is a testament to precision and durability. In the paint shop at Liebherr's Telfs plant, freshly welded track frames for the bulldozers pass through surface treatment and priming. Suspended on an overhead conveyor, these massive steel structures receive their first protective coating, a corrosion-resistant primer that prepares them for final assembly. After the painting process, Each component is carefully inspected before moving into final assembly. Here, we see one of the structural arms. In the assembly hall, the heavy undercarriage of the bulldozer takes shape. Idler wheels and carrier rollers arrive on pallets, then are carefully lifted and fitted into the freshly painted track frames. Step by step, technicians install the spring-loaded recoil system, ensuring correct track tension. Using precision tools, cranes, and even rubber mallets, each component is aligned and secured. Protective covers and side elements are added, completing the rugged frames that will later carry the machine's tracks. What begins here as a series of individual parts soon becomes the foundation of the bulldozer's mobility and strength. The heavy track frames of the bulldozer take shape. Workers carefully inspect each mounting point before the frame is lifted by crane and rotated into position. Precision brackets and connection plates are added, ensuring perfect alignment for the undercarriage. The freshly painted green undercarriage frame of a bulldozer is carefully positioned for the next stage of production. Technicians prepare the massive steel structure that will later carry the full weight and traction forces of the machine. Using cranes and slings, the frame is set on supports and precisely aligned. Freshly painted chassis frames, the backbone of Liebherr bulldozers, are carefully moved across the shop floor. A forklift transports these massive steel structures from the paint line to the assembly area, where each frame is placed on special carriers for precise positioning. In the assembly shop at the Liebherr Telfs plant, one of the most crucial stages of crawler dozer production takes place: the installation of the final drive units. These massive gray housings contain heavy-duty planetary gear systems that transfer hydraulic power to the sprockets, the components that ultimately move the machine's tracks. Each unit is carefully lifted with an overhead hoist and guided into place by skilled technicians. Precision is essential here, as the final drives must perfectly align with the mounting flanges on the undercarriage side frames. Once positioned, the housings are secured with a series of high-strength bolts. Using pneumatic torque tools, the bolts are tightened in a precise sequence to ensure even clamping pressure and long-term reliability. This process guarantees that the final drives can withstand the enormous forces generated when the crawler dozer pushes, pulls, and maneuvers under extreme working conditions. With both drive units in place, the undercarriage is ready for the next stages of assembly, bringing the machine one step closer to completion. The bulldozer's chassis takes on its technical core. Onto the painted steel frame, heavy axle housings and precision machine bearing seats are installed, the foundation for the final drives and tracks. Step by step, technicians integrate hydraulic and cooling systems. Hoses are routed, steel lines connected, and valves precisely tightened. Yellow protective sleeves shield the lines, ensuring durability under extreme pressure. Technicians carefully route hydraulic hoses, electrical wiring, and pneumatic tubes through the freshly painted frame. Each line is shielded with protective coverings to withstand vibration, heat, and heavy-duty operation. Using precision tools, workers tighten fittings and fasten clamps, securing every cable and hose to its place. Red, yellow, and black lines interweave, forming the circulatory system that will carry hydraulic power, control signals, and electricity across the entire machine. Connectors and plugs are installed one by one, linking sensors, control modules, and hydraulic valves. Even the smallest detail matters, because a clean and reliable layout ensures both safety and long-term performance. Protective sleeves and cable guides keep the hydraulic and electrical systems neatly organized. The bright blue hydraulic block is carefully fitted with a series of high-pressure hoses, each secured with precision to ensure absolute reliability. Every connection is double-checked, as these lines will later carry the immense forces needed to power the machine's movements. The massive radiator block is installed, ensuring cooling for both the engine and the hydraulics. The worker carefully aligns it and connects the hoses. Next comes the routing of hydraulic lines and cables, protected in special sleeves. These deliver power from the pumps to every working function of the machine. Finally, the hydraulic tank is lowered into place by crane and securely mounted to the frame. This marks the completion of the bulldozer's hydraulic heart. In this stage of assembly, technicians carefully connect the bulldozer's lifelines, its hydraulic and electrical systems. At the same time, the wiring harnesses are secured, with connectors sealed and protected for maximum durability. In the next stage of assembly, the focus shifts to the integration of hydraulic and electrical systems inside the green-painted superstructure. Skilled technicians carefully route and secure hoses, ensuring precise connections to the central hydraulic block. Every cable and pipe is organized and clamped in place, reflecting the high standards of order and safety in Liebherr's production. Step by step, the machine's nervous system is built, a complex network of hoses and wires that will later control its power and precision on the job site. The massive diesel engines, produced by Liebherr itself, are manufactured in the company's own engine plants, such as Bulla in Switzerland. These units belong to the latest generation of Liebherr D946 and D976 series engines, specially developed for heavy-duty crawler bulldozers. With displacements of up to 24 liters, these six-cylinder inline power plants deliver extremely high torque at low engine speeds, ensuring maximum pushing force under the most demanding conditions. In the workshop, the engines arrive fully equipped with turbochargers, cooling systems, hydraulic pumps, and electronic management systems. Using overhead cranes, technicians carefully lower each engine into the prepared chassis. Step by step, the powertrain is connected to the hydraulic system, transmission, and electronic controls. Worker precisely fit oil and fuel lines, ensuring reliable flow and sealing every joint with meticulous care. Flexible couplings and hoses are mounted to connect the turbocharger and intercooler system, secured with clamps and fasteners. Each component is tightened, marked, and verified to meet strict quality standards. We witnessed the installation of a power unit into a smaller Liebherr crawler bulldozer. Each engine arrives at the station pre-assembled and fully equipped with essential subsystems, from filters and hoses to hydraulic connections. With the help of chain hoists, the massive unit is carefully lifted and guided into position. Precision here is critical. The alignment of mounting points and connection ports ensures a perfect fit within the bulldozer's frame. Once the engine is lowered into place, technicians secure it with robust engine mounts, bolting the unit firmly to the chassis. After the installation of the powerful diesel engine into the crawler bulldozer's mainframe, the next critical step begins: the integration of the exhaust and filtration system. Technicians carefully maneuver the heavy stainless steel exhaust components into place. These large, chrome-finished silencers are designed not only to reduce noise, but also to meet the strictest emission standards. With precise movements, guided by overhead cranes and handheld controls, the elements are lowered and aligned with the engine. Each section of piping is connected by hand, with protective heat shields already mounted to withstand the extreme operating temperatures that the bulldozer will face during continuous earth-moving work. Workers tighten brackets and clamps, ensuring that every joint is secure and leak-free. These components play a vital role in protecting the engine from dust and contaminants, guaranteeing reliability in the harshest construction environments. With the exhaust system firmly in place, the green crawler bulldozer takes another important step toward completion, preparing for the next phase of assembly on this state-of-the-art production line in Austria. The freshly painted mast component arrives on the assembly line. Still suspended by a lifting strap, it is carefully positioned and lowered onto a pallet for preparation. From here, the technician guides the mast into place using a crane and remote control. Precision is essential. The heavy structure must align perfectly with the attachment points on the machine's chassis. Once the mechanical structure is secure, attention turns to the lighting system. LED floodlights are mounted onto the mast's upper section. With the mast positioned, the operator checks the fit and steadies it by hand. Mounting brackets are secured, and the large bolts are inserted. Each fastener is tightened using a torque-controlled power tool, ensuring exact clamping force according to Liebherr's assembly standards. Bolts receive a painted marking line, allowing inspectors to confirm correct torque at a glance. Finally, additional hoses and wiring are secured along the mast. After the installation of the front lighting mast and its hydraulic connections, the assembly line moves to mounting the operator's cabin. The cab arrives at the line as a fully pre-assembled module. The operator's cabin is tilted back to give workers full access to the machine's inner systems. A red safety prop secures the cabin in place, ensuring stability. Inside, the technician carefully connects hydraulic lines, electrical harnesses, and fasteners. Finally, the cab is lowered back to its standard position and locked in place. The assembly team completes the process. On the assembly line, technicians carefully prepare the bulldozer's upper structure before the hydraulic cylinders are installed. Protective housings are mounted around the final drive and planetary gear area, ensuring safety and reliability during operation. At the same time, workers connect and adjust critical components on the machine's sides, including hydraulic and electrical lines. An overhead crane with heavy-duty chains is prepared to lift and position components, ensuring precise alignment. A worker then begins installing the massive hydraulic cylinders that control the machine's blade. With the part in place, he aligns the joint and inserts the large pivot pin, sometimes using a mallet to guide it into position. Once aligned, he secures the pin with a locking mechanism to prevent any unwanted movement. Finally, the worker tightens everything with a power tool, ensuring a secure and durable fit.
With the cylinders installed, the bulldozer is tested. Exhaust hoses ensure safety, while the operator checks blade movement through the hydraulic controls, confirming smooth and precise operation. On the assembly line, the planetary final drive of the crawler tractor undergoes testing. The shaft begins to rotate, simulating real working loads, while protective covers ensure operator safety. At the same time, the hydraulics of the lifting mast are activated, with the cylinders extending and retracting to verify smooth, precise movement. These synchronized tests confirm that both the drivetrain and hydraulic systems are functioning flawlessly before the bulldozer moves to the next stage of assembly. The next critical stage begins. Skilled workers secure heavy-duty lifting chains to the frame, and massive overhead cranes carefully raise the structure off the assembly stand. Every movement is precise. The team closely monitors alignment and stability as the suspended machine is shifted along the line. This operation combines the strength of industrial lifting systems with the careful coordination of the assembly team, ensuring the tractor is prepared for its final transformation into a fully operational crawler machine. In the assembly area, we see hydraulic cylinders designed to control the powerful rear ripper, prepared for installation on the Liebherr PR756 heavy bulldozer. Each component is manufactured for extreme strength, ensuring reliable operation in the most difficult conditions. The Liebherr PR756 heavy bulldozer advances step by step along the assembly line. This stage marks the transformation into a fully functional crawler bulldozer, which will soon receive tracks and undergo final testing. On the assembly line in Telfs, the flagship Liebherr PR776 takes shape. This 70-ton bulldozer moves forward on special transport platforms, stopping at each station where technicians complete critical tasks. At this stage, focus shifts to the rear of the machine, where massive hydraulic cylinders for the ripper are installed. These cylinders, essential for transmitting enormous forces into the ground, are carefully aligned and fixed into position. Step by step, bolts are secured using powerful torque tools, ensuring each connection meets strict tolerances. With each tightening, the bulldozer's structure gains strength, preparing it for the demanding forces it will face in operation. At this station, one of the most demanding stages of assembly begins: installing the tracks on the Liebherr PR776 bulldozer. The tracks arrive at the plant in Telfs pre-assembled in massive rolls, each weighing several tons. Using an overhead crane, an experienced technician carefully lifts and positions the roll into a dedicated track feeding system. Guide cables unwind the steel links, feeding the track gradually onto the colossal drive and idler shafts of the PR776. Every movement must be exact. The technician manually steers the heavy chain of links into place, ensuring each segment settles smoothly onto the rollers and sprockets. For the two ends of the track to meet, the links must travel around the machine's main planetary gear system. To achieve this, another specialist activates the bulldozer's roller mechanism. Slowly advancing the track until both ends align at the very top of the gear shaft. This is the critical moment, the meeting of two massive steel ends. The technician now locks them together, joining the chain into a single loop. It may look straightforward, but the weight, size, and forces at play demand years of skill and unwavering precision. A reinforced, bolted connection secures the track, transforming it into a continuous steel belt designed to withstand extreme working loads in the harshest conditions. What you see here is more than assembly. It's a demonstration of engineering mastery, turning raw steel into one of the most powerful track systems in the world. In the heart of the Liebherr Telfs factory, every crawler dozer is perfected, from final assembly to precise quality checks. Rigorously tested, these machines are ready to prove their strength. With blades in place and tracks rolling, each Liebherr crawler tractor stands as a true masterpiece of engineering. And as they leave the factory for construction sites around the globe, they carry with them Liebherr's power, reliability, and innovation. Don't forget, subscribe to Automotive Garage for more factory stories from the world of machines.